Hello FIGGIE Fiends and Collectors, this is me, Daniel East 1000, back again with another Star Wars The Black Series figure review, and once again, as we all know, this is a hotly anticipated one, namely because of the character. At this point, I think I have every version of this particular character in the costumes that Hasbro's made so far. This time, it's Cassian Andor in Sienar test pilot gear.
But she's got a new hat.
You've got to have it. As always, before we take a look at the figure itself, we're going to take a look at the packaging really quickly. You've got Star Wars The Black Series at the top there. That lovely window packaging so you can see the figure and all the accessories that it does come with. We've also got a backdrop there faded into the colour banding, which is featured at the bottom just here. You've got the name of the media within that, and also on the side here, name of the character and number of the character. Bit of legalese at the bottom. On the side, nothing much really going on other than Star Wars The Black Series and that colour banding continuing around. The other side, you've got the lovely image of the character just there as well, and that fades into the colour with their name. On the back, pretty standard stuff. Picture of the character, lovely little bit of a background bio on the character as well, name of the character, Star Wars The Black Series, and number of the character. A ton of legalese at the bottom there and at the bottom there as well. Nothing much really going on at the top. And that is the packaging basically out the way and done with. So now let's take a look at the figure itself.
If I die tonight, was it worth it? You've done this before. You must have thought about it.
This makes it worth it. This. Right now. Being with you, being here at the moment you step into the circle. Look at me. You made this decision long ago. The Empire cannot win. You'll never feel right unless you're doing what you can to stop them. You're coming home to yourself. You've become more than your fear. Let that protect you.
Thank you.
So here we have Cassian Andor in his test pilot gear. This was seen in the very first episode, at least the first 3 episodes of season 2. Of course, this figure depicts the heist that Andor undergoes to steal the TIE Avenger. I really love this look. It's a really cool outfit. It's a very nice deviation from the typical TIE fighter pilot look. Of course, as always, you've got that brilliant head sculpt. I think this is a really good likeness to Diego Luna. Really love the hair texturing they've put on that. Also the 5 o'clock shadow. Really strong likeness. Definitely one of the better ones that Hasbro have done. Then if we come down to the outfit, I really love the armour design on this. And particularly the colour deviation. It's not fully black and matte blacks or gloss blacks. His actual undersuit has elements of red there, of which isn't particularly a strong red. It's evident that it's been painted over from that black base body and isn't as vibrant as I personally would have liked it. That's my only little real gripe with this figure, bar one other thing. Yeah, I feel like that red could have just done with another pass to make it a bit more vibrant on that black. The Imperial emblem, the cog on his shoulder, is done really well. Got some of the sort of code cylinders. And you've got some nice sort of doodads on his wrist. The gloves as well. Just looking around on the back though, you've got some really cool detailing of some of those greeblies. You've even got the flight harness kind of bunched up there. And that does come down to the front. Very different looking sort of flight harness. Of course he does have a holster. And then the legs. Really nice black, like matte black for the actual undersuit. Of course the armour is a gloss black, so there's a nice differentiation between what's armour and what's kind of like a different material to the under material, which is great. And of course the boots there as well. Really lovely stuff. I love the texture that they've put on to this figure on the undersuit. In terms of his accessories, he comes with the very interesting looking helmet, and that does sit on his head very nicely. It's quite snug, but you've got the tubes which actually run all the way to the back of the helmet rather than onto a chest box. And then of course he's got the blaster, which does sit quite nicely in the holster, and you can get him in a really nice ready to draw pose. It's the standard sort of Imperial TIE Fighter pilot's blaster. very interesting design on that. Just very, very cool. If you didn't really want this guy to, you know, be Andor, this suits as a nice new rank for your Imperial shelf. If you just want to have it as the Imperial test pilot, but then if you're wanting it to be Andor, you can obviously take the helmet off and have it prominently on show that he's in disguise, which is very, very cool. Anyways, that's all the accessories that he does come with. I can't really think of anything else they could have included. Maybe a data pad, maybe even the little droid as well, if they really wanted to push the boat out. But he comes with everything that you could really want with this particular figure. Now, in terms of articulation, this is where my slight gripe comes in with this figure, which is quite surprising really, because usually articulation Hasbro have pretty much nailed. But in terms of the head, you've got a ball joint in the head, ball joint in the neck, butterfly joints in the shoulders, which is really nice, ball jointed shoulders as well, ball jointed elbows. There's also a swivel in the top halves of the glove, and then you've also got ball jointed wrists as well. Now you've also got ball jointed torso. It is slightly limited, you can't really push it too far forward just because of the strap system there. But then this is where my real gripe comes in, and to be honest, this is going to be a problem for a lot of figures in the foreseeable, because Hasbro, in their divine wisdom, have certainly included the ball jointed hips, but they've now removed the thigh swivel. For the longest time I didn't think you really needed a thigh swivel, but until they've actually taken it out I've realised, geez, that thigh swivel really did a lot in terms of posability, particularly in the legs, because when you get the figures out of the packaging, I'm noticing a lot of bow-leggedness. I don't know how well prominent it is on this particular figure. There's something just kind of off about the legs, because you can't really swivel that thigh around just to align them a little bit nicer. You can obviously move the ball joint and swivel them around a little bit. They're not as great as you used to be able to get with that thigh swivel. Don't know if anyone else is having that feeling. I didn't really notice it particularly too much until this figure, and another one of which is way more prominent with. I'd like to thank RoboQuiff Collects for pointing this newly found gripe out. Curious to hear if anyone else has this same feeling. Nonetheless, he has ball jointed knees, swivels at the tops of the boot, which does help realign the leg a bit more and look a little bit more natural. So that's one nice thing with this. You can kind of slightly amend that omission of the thigh swivel. But anyways, you've got ball jointed ankles with the rocker joints as well. So you can get this guy still, don't get me wrong, in really good poses. I just really do feel like if you're going to have him actually stood on your shelf, it's going to take a fair bit of work to make those legs look natural. Not as much as some other figures. Again, we'll get to that particular one in due course. Overall, I do really like this figure. With some of the gripes aside, it does look very, very good on display. It's just little minor nitpicks in terms of that red for me. Again, it's another Andor. It depends which Andor you want to get. If you want to get them all because you love the character, then I say go for it. This is definitely going to be one you want to pick up. But if you are just wanting one version of Andor, it's going to depend on which look is your favourite. As I mentioned though, you don't even have to have it as Andor. If you did want to have a bit of diversity in your Imperial ranks, wanted to have an Imperial test pilot, then this figure doubles up perfectly for that. I'm really pleased to have a Andor in test pilot gear in my collection. He certainly pairs very nicely with that range trooper with rocket launcher. Some little minor annoyances with it, and again it's going to depend on your mileage, how annoyed you're going to be with those minor annoyances that I've mentioned, but I'd still certainly recommend it. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Cassian Andor in Sienar test pilot gear. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you picked this one up? Are you considering it? Sound off, and well, this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out. Thank you very much for watching.